Today we are going to discuss electrochemistry from the point of view of your board's exams. I am assuming that all of you have a very basic understanding of the terminologies used in this chapter. What I am going to do here is point you towards the most important concepts, topics and formulas that are most asked on this particular chapter. And remember, electrochemistry is one of the most important chapters, not just from the board's point of view, but from your competitive exams like JEE and NEET as well. So let's start. Before going into the chapter in details, let's first see what are we going to learn. If we are going to divide the chapter broadly, there are the potentials, cells, what is a galvanic cell, what is a normal electrolytic cell. We are going to understand all of that first. Then we are going to dive deeper into electrochemical cells, the Nernst equations and their applications and stuff like that. And in the last portion, we are going to deal with electrolysis. What is electrolysis? What are the types of electrolysis? What are the factors affecting electrolysis? Okay, so let's start. And remember, we are only going to focus on the key areas that are important from the board's examination point of view. I'm going to tell you the most efficient chapters. Okay, so let's start. You will get this note and practice questions and test paper questions for your help along with this video lecture. So do not worry about noting down too much. You are going to get all of these notes and question papers anyway. So let's start. Electrochemistry, electrochemical cells, types, galvanic cell and electrolytic cell. What is a galvanic cell? What is an electrolytic cell? I'm assuming you guys, all of you, have at least a basic idea about all of this. So yeah, galvanic cell, if you broadly want to understand, galvanic cell is an electrochemical cell. That means we take chemical energy and we convert that into electrical energy. Basically, we are creating electrical energy here. So that is what a galvanic cell is. An electrolytic cell means we are spending electrical energy to create chemical energy, to actually do work with the electrical energy. Okay. Now what is electrode potential? The potential basically means the capability to do the chemical work. So different compounds, different ions have different capability in nature to do different extents of chemical works. And standard electrode potential is this relative to hydrogen, because hydrogen is referred to as the standard electrode. Referred to hydrogen, what is the capability of other ions and other elements to do chemical work? If you apply an electrical energy or if you want to create an electrochemical cell, what is the capability of other elements, other ions with respect to hydrogen? That is what is referred to as standard electrode potential. Now, electrochemical series, EMF of a cell, basic cell diagram, which you can see here, the notation how we write cell. This is the one. How we define a cell. This is referred to as a standard hydrogen cell, because see in the right hand side, this is the reduction part. This is where hydrogen is placed. So this is a standard hydrogen electrode, and this is how we generally write cells. Salt is an important component of any electrochemical cell or galvanic cell when we are trying to create electricity. If you can see the diagram here, when we are trying to create any electrochemical cell, we use this basic structure. uh, and most students have confusions about what is an anode, what is an cathode, where does positive sign come, where does negative sign come. So let me put that at rest for you all, once and for all. Always remember that whether it is a galvanic cell or an electrolytic cell, anode is always associated with oxidation and cathode is always associated with reduction. Anode, it doesn't matter whether positive sign is there on the electrode or negative sign, anode is always associated with oxidation. Here we see an electrochemical cells representation. That means here anode receives electrons. That's why, no, I'm sorry, they do not receive an electron, but oxidation happens. But the negative sign here is for showing the direction of electron, like where does the electron flow from. The direction of electron is from negative to positive, and the direction of current is opposite to that. The conventional current sign is here. That is the negative and positive sign is for to show you the direction of current and electron. But the function of anode and cathode, whether it is this side or that side, or whether it is galvanic cell or electrolytic cell, always will be that anode is associated with oxidation and cathode is associated with reduction. I hope that made sense. Now let's move on to spontaneity of reaction. This is the formula. This is the free energy, the change in free energy rather. This is the N means number of moles, F means Faraday, the easy representation of charge in uh, electrochemistry, and E cell means just EMF of a cell. And if we take standard value of cell potential, we get this formula. This is very important from examination point of view, because they will ask a type of question where they will ask you whether this cell is spontaneous or not, whether this cell is feasible or not. What you have to check is that uh, put del G is equal to 0, okay, and then see if the E naught cell is negative. If it is negative, then your cell is feasible, because we know that del G naught has to be negative, because uh, in in the universe, del G naught represents total available of free energy, and free energy decreases with work done. So final minus initial free energy will be negative. So del G has to come negative. If you can find that del G is negative, that means your cell is feasible. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay. Yeah. Types of electrodes. Technical issues, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so Nernst equation. Nernst equation is one of the most important topics. I mean, from examination point of view, they will always give you an scenario and ask you what is the E cell. They will give you the standard electrode potentials. You have to find E naught cell, then you have to put in the value of N, then you have to put in the value of the, if you can see an example, if you have to put in the value of Kc. Okay, so they, in the question Kc will be given, E naught cell will also be given, but you have to calculate from E cell cathode and E cell anode. inert cell cathode and inert cell anode. You have to calculate that, um, and then you have to find E cell. Okay, so Nernst equation is also an important topic. Now moving on to electrolysis. Electrolysis is also an important topic. Short questions, 2 marks questions will be coming from this topic. Mm, Batteries also give you short questions. They will ask you about lead storage battery, the equations, this anode and cathode equation, you will be asked. When does it charge and when does it get discharged? You have to remember those scenarios, these equations. Then fuel cell and corrosion, they are interesting to know, but they will not come that much in your examination. Conductance and this formula, I'm sorry, this formula, there is some typos here, but this is G into L by A. Okay, G is equal to G into L by A. This is also important. Then we come into factors affecting electrolyte conductance. There are a lot of typos in these notes, but okay, you get the idea, basic idea of what are the important topics. Molar conductivity is also an important topic. Equivalent conductivity is also an important topic. You will be given values and you will be asked to compute the values of equivalent conductivity and molar conductivity. Variations of conductivity and molar conductivity with dilution, this is also a very important topic, because there is one concept that you have to comprehend here, that with dilution the value of molar conductivity increases, because in case of other conductivities this is the opposite of the norm. So molar conductivity and equivalent conductivity increases with a decrease in concentration, that means increases with increase in dilution. This is an important question, and you can just remember this graph and this formula. It is also important, it is an Arrhenius equation. So yeah, this form too, sometimes this is asked in questions, and this is very important from competitive examination point of view. The Colrick's law is also important. This comes in examinations as a 2 marks question. They will give you the values of these two, you have to calculate this, or they can give you the value of this and this, you have to calculate one. Simple questions. An example of this is here. They will give you infinite dilution of weak electrolyte and this and this, then you have to calculate this one. This is basically the example. I will be giving you guys along with these notes question papers and practice questions. The chapter wise questions will be coming with answers, and the practice test will not have answers. So you guys can refer to those questions to get an idea of what kind of questions are going to come. Now let's move ahead, and yeah, so this is the end of the chapter, and there is one more topic I would like to add that is not in this note. Faraday's law. Faraday's law is very much important from your examination point of view. Faraday's two laws of electrolysis, first law and second law, they get very much asked in your examinations in 3 marks and 5 marks questions. They will simply ask you write down the Faraday's law and write the mathematical expression. Okay, and along with that they will ask you factors affecting electrolysis. Okay, so here I have summarized all of the formulas. You can see, you can please ignore the typos here. It takes a lot of effort to create these notes, but sometimes mistakes creep in either way. So please ignore them. I am sure you guys know what to put here. Like so thank you. This was a brief, I'm not going to say lecture, this was a brief discussion about the important topics from the point of view of your board's examination. And electrochemistry is a very important topic from both your boards examination and your competitive examination point of view, because if you see your past year papers, you can find at least 2 to 3 questions related with electrochemistry from every section, whether it is 1 marks, 2 marks, or 5 marks. Okay, so this is a very important chapter. Please understand and remove any confusion regarding the terminologies and formulas, and practice the numericals. They are going to be simple numericals. So thank you. Thanks to Sivanjali Success Center for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all.